In this video, we'll use the 2024 annual report of Dr. Marten plc to calculate liquidity ratios. The current ratio compares current assets with current liabilities. We can pick up both of these figures from the statement of financial position. The ratio has fallen from 3.1 to 1 in financial year 23 to 2.8 to 1 in financial year 24. This means that at the end of financial year 24, the company had £2.80 of current assets for every pound of current liabilities. Despite being less than in financial year 23, it can clearly cover its liabilities with its assets. It's important to compare this with competitors, industry averages, and internal targets if they're available. The quick ratio measures liquidity with only the more liquid current assets by excluding inventory. These figures are easy to find in the statement of financial position. We can see that the figure has dropped from 1.5 to 1 in financial year 23 to 1.2 to 1 in financial year 24. Dr. Martens has £1.20 of liquid current assets for every pound of current liabilities. This ratio does still cover the liabilities, but if it dropped by a similar amount in the next financial year, it may not do so. Comparison over a longer period and with competitors may be useful. Knowing more about the makeup of some of the figures and knowing what internal liquidity targets exist would help our analysis, but this information isn't available to us. A review of the information in the annual report finds various comments that the company is happy with the liquidity position. Do remember, though, that the annual report is written by the company and contains their own opinions. The liquidity ratios both show a reduction in the liquidity of Dr. Marten, but these are both at acceptable levels for now. Care must be taken to ensure these don't deteriorate further. It's a good idea to consider the liquidity ratios alongside the efficiency ratios. The elements which are included in the current ratio are those looked at in the efficiency category. The inventory turnover ratio increased, which has a negative effect on liquidity since cash is tied up in stock instead of being converted into sales. The trade payables period has decreased, meaning cash is leaving the organisation more quickly. Again, this has a negative effect on liquidity.